All right, live from behind the backstop, audio only due to a lack of bandwidth. We're in the bottom of the first. Canes, having batted first, scored one run on a double from Brian Oakley with Martinez, who was on third. Right now on the mound for the Canes, Ryan Adams with a runner on first after losing the leadoff batter to a walk on a full count. Second batter now with a full count, runner on first. Brian Oakley providing coverage. Runner goes, slapped into shallow right field on a hit and run action will allow the leadoff batter to make his way to third. So a soft fly ball advances the runner as Ryan Schmitz over in right comes up on it. Widener is the batter, third in the lineup for Game Time Prospects. Ryan Adams deals. Fastball inside, called strike. No outs in the bottom of the first. Again, Canes by one so far. Runner goes. Foul ball just over the top of our heads. Here on the right side of the backstop toward the first base dugout for the Canes. Game Time Prospects on the third base side in that dugout. Adams takes a look at the runner on first. Attempted pickoff a little bit wide. Brian Oakley has to step off the bag to keep it from getting past him. Shields is the runner at first. Nicholas on third. The pitch misses the strike zone. One ball, two strikes to the third batter. No outs. Runners first and third in the bottom of the first inning. Adams' fastball finds the strike zone, and that will put one out on the board. First and third, one out. Next batter steps up. Number 4 is going to be Stewart, the first baseman for GTP Black. Adams deals a breaking ball. It misses low and away from the right-handed batter. Slap right to the second baseman. Double play, knocked, going to be in time, and a run will score. So Howell to Steiner over to Oakley, but that allows Nicholas on third to score. Attempted double play by the Canes infield. So Howell, with the fielder's choice, turns to Steiner at second for a second out. Stewart reaches safely. And the score now is tied 1-1 in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch to the next batter, a called strike. Staten, I believe he's the starting pitcher for GTP. Ground ball through the left side of the infield will make its way out to Riddick Kent. So Staten will have a single. Stewart will advance down to second now with 2 outs. Runners first and second. With another right-handed batter stepping to the plate, we'll try to get his number Ravel, who is number 20. First pitch to Ravel, misses the strike zone. 1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs, runners first and second. Tie score, 1-1. In the bottom of the first, Ryan Adams deals a breaking ball and gets him to fan Ravel. Reaches across to the other batter's box, but misses. Adams deals the 1-1. Gets the upper outer corner of the strike zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ravel looking at that one after swinging a miss in the prior pitch. 2 outs, 2 on. Infield on the left side playing back. Cannon at third, Steiner at short. Pitch is fouled out of play just over our heads. An audio-only broadcast to Game Changer right now. Uncertain if it's actually working. Adams deals. Another foul ball. Game 1 of the weekend at Methodist University, home to the Methodist Monarchs at Armstrong Shelley Field. Bit of a tongue twister. Ryan Adams deals. Another breaking ball, lofted deep in the left. Riddick Kent makes his way toward the foul line and is able to get a glove on it for a third out. And that will take us into the top of the second inning with a tie score. After 1, you're listening to Canes Central Scout Baseball on YouTube. Listening to Canes Central Scout Baseball on YouTube, live from behind the backstop. No video, audio only. After 1 inning, tie score, 1-1. Up to bat now for the Canes, extra hitter in the lineup, Simon Martone. Opening pitch to Martone, breaking ball that goes low and away. Second pitch off the turf right in front of the catcher. 2 balls, no strikes. Third pitch goes to the outside. Fastball, a little bit on the inside. Martone raises his elbows, gets called strike. Martone draws the walk to lead off the second inning. Up to bat now for the Canes. 7th in the lineup of 10 for the day. Ryan Hartley made the inning-ending catch in left field. First pitch to Hartley. Anyone in the audience? I think we all missed it. Ball. Martone takes off. Hartley pops up just behind second base is the shortstop. Martone will have to retreat. Bryce Cannon now, third batter for the Canes in the top of the second inning with 1 out and a runner on first. Martone with a leadoff walk. Hartley popping up to the shortstop for the first out. First pitch to Cannon, fastball that sits up over the top of the strike zone. I believe Martone leads the Canes with 11 stolen bases for the summer season. Takes off, and Cannon lines one deep into center field. That'll be well on its way to the outfield fence, and Martone will coast around third and make his way into home, and Cannon with a stand-up triple. A deep line drive for the Apex Friendship rising senior over the head of Nicholas in center. Canes putting another run on the board here in the early innings to take another 1-run lead. Ryan Schmitz now, the right fielder, steps to the plate with 1 out and a runner on third after Cannon tripled into deep center field. First pitch called strike. One out, 1 on with the left-handed Schmitz at the plate. Takes a look at the second pitch from Staten. One ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss on the third pitch. Schmitz pops one on the left side, third baseman going back in foul territory over his shoulder makes the catch, and a pop-out foul. McCullum, the third baseman. So 2 outs. Bryce Cannon still down on third, unable to go anywhere after that last play. It makes way for Grayson Leone, 10th of 10, bottom of the lineup. Jen Steiner on deck. Fastball to start the at-bat. Gets a called strike from the umpire. Staten deals off the turf in the opposite batter's box. Good block by the catcher, Madre, backhanded as he moves away from his squat. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner on third. Hard ground ball bounces sharply off the mound. Leone's going to beat out the throw as it bounced sharply off the mound, high into the air. Second baseman had to come on to field it, and Leone able to beat out the throw to first, while Bryce Cannon scores from third. So Leone with an RBI single to bring the score to a 2-run lead for the Canes. Makes way for Jen Steiner at the top of the lineup. First pitch to Steiner, low and away. Next pitch to Steiner, a called strike. Fastball down the middle. Steiner walked in his first at bat and ended up as part of a double play on the infield in the top of the first inning. Runner goes, pitch gets past the catcher on a wild pitch. So Leone advances on a pass ball. We're going to call that a wild pitch. It was well out of the reach of the catcher. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs now, and Grayson Leone at second. Jen Steiner at the plate. Breaking ball outside corner, not something that Steiner wants to swing at, will bring the count to 2-2. The pitch outside fills up the count. Staten comes set and deals the payoff pitch to Steiner. Misses low and away, walks him. Steiner will advance freely down to first and make way for Luke Howell. Howell grounded into the double play in his first at bat. Well struck grounder to the second baseman. Staten's breaking ball to open the at bat misses low and away, bounces off the turf. Staten tries for a fastball on the outside, but misses. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, runners first and second. Grayson Leone with a leadoff second, Jen Steiner with a leadoff first. No real coverage. Fastball finds the strike zone a little bit away from Howell. pitch, ground ball to third on the glove side, tries to tag the runner as Leon passes by, but he can't make it. Instead opts for a throw to first and gets Howell out for the third out of the inning. So the Canes leave 2 on, but put 2 on the board for a 3-1 lead as they move into the bottom of the second inning. You're listening to Canes Central Scout Baseball, live from behind the backstop, audio only version on YouTube. Follow along in Game Changer as well if you're not already doing so. Welcome back to Canes Central Scout Baseball, audio only version on YouTube. As we keep track of Game 1 at Methodist University, end of summer championship. For the Canes, playing a doubleheader here today. After this, at 1 o'clock, they face off. I'm not sure, I've lost track as to who or whom. And then tomorrow evening at 6:20, they'll be playing at Duke University in Game 3. Only a 3-game pool play to determine bracket position for Sunday. Change in the tournament for the weekend after a couple of teams dropped out late in the week. I want to say they're playing the Guests is the name of the team they'll be playing this afternoon here in Game 2 of a doubleheader at Methodist University, just outside of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Top of the third inning, line drive right to Jen Steiner at third, hops up off his feet. That was, I believe, Whitley, who just lined out to Steiner to start the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out. The kind of defense every team wants. Adams starts with a breaking ball now to Hale, number 7, 8th of presumably 10 batters. Just misses. Fastball released a little late, not quite off the turf, but Martinez behind the plate has to reach low and in front of him to get it into his glove. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, nobody on. Adams now gets Hale to swing and miss. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out to the second batter in the bottom of the second inning. Hale looks at a fastball for a called strike to even up the count, 2-2. Adam gets him. Looking, rings him up and sends him back to the dugout. Madry swinging a miss at the first pitch from Ryan Adams with 2 outs. Adams deals. Just misses a little bit low and away, pops off the glove of Martinez for a 1-1 count with 1 out. 2 outs, right? 2 outs. Two balls, 1 strike with 2 outs, nobody on. After an inning and 2/3, Ryan Adams is at 39 pitches as he is facing off against the 9th batter in the lineup for the Game Time Prospects. They played in the game just before, understandably had lost. Lined softly into right center, is going to drop in front of Hartley. McCullum now, the catcher. Believe, maybe not actually. First name starts with a C, so I think I got that wrong. 2 outs, runner on first after Madre singled in shallow right center. First pitch to McCullum. Misses the strike zone. Now Adams deals. Bit of a sidearm delivery, gets a called strike. Evens up the count at 1-1. Same pitch, but it misses a little bit wider the second time around. 2 balls, 1 strike. With a runner on first, 2 outs. Canes leading by 2 after an inning and a half. The throw down with the runner going. Martinez is going to get the put out to end the inning. So Madry caught stealing by Martinez, going to take the game into the bottom of the second here at Methodist University. You're listening to Canes Central Scout Baseball live from behind the backstop, audio only version this afternoon, thanks in part to some sketchy internet service. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Canes Central Scout Baseball, audio only version for today. If you're just joining us, the Canes are leading by 2 after scoring 1 in the top of the first, followed by 2 more in the top of the second. Just a quick recap of the second inning. Martone walked, Cannon tripled, scoring Martone. Followed by Leon, who singled on a hard ground ball to second that bounced off the mound and allowed Cannon to score. Martinez scored on a double by Oakley in the first inning. Martinez with a triple along with Cannon. Martinez tripled in the first, Cannon in the second. As we start now the top of the third inning. Leading off will be the catcher, Josh Martinez, followed by Brian Oakley and Riddick Kent, the left fielder. Canes with 4 hits after 2 innings and 3 runs. Staten was the starting pitcher, and now we have Whitley, number 1, who's on the mound. First pitch to Martinez, a called strike. Martinez lined off the glove of the third baseman, and Martinez is going to beat out the throw. So McCullum knocks it down at third, but Martinez with the speed makes it across the bag at first before the ball gets to Stewart, the first baseman. Denson as a courtesy runner for the catcher. Oakley pops one up on the right side, and it'll get caught by Stewart, the first baseman, just before he runs out of room approaching the dugout. One pitch, 1 out to Oakley. I'm not saying that correctly, but 1 pitch to Oakley with a foul out. Riddick Kent now at the plate. Looks at the first pitch, a fastball low and away. Benson on first for Martinez, who singled on a line drive off the glove of the third baseman, McCullum. Home plate umpire calls time and having a word with Riddick Kent. Something about his helmet. Is that it's cracked, not permissible in the game. So he'll trade helmets with one of his teammates, says he's required to wear an appropriate safety device. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, runner on first in the top of the third inning. Canes leading by 2 here at Methodist University. Whitley's pitch to Riddick Kent swung and a miss, and Denson gets a stolen base. One count with 1 out and 1 on. A little bit of a cutting fastball from Whitley gets Kent to swing and miss. One ball, 2 strikes. Runner on second. 1 out. Whitley Whitley looks back at Denson, kicks and deals, swing and a miss, the same pitch. Martone now steps to the plate. He drew a walk in his first at bat against Staten. Now he's facing off against Whitley. Fastball low and away to start off Martone's second at bat. Denson still down on second after stealing on defensive indifference. Martone steps out and calls for time. Martone, opposite field single into shallow right field. That'll score Denson from second on an offline throw, so Martone will advance now. So an RBI single for Martone puts a fourth run on the board as he changes positions with Denson, who was down on second as a courtesy runner for Martinez. Some dehydration factoring in for the Canes here at Methodist University. Martone down on second draws the attention of Whitley as Miller, the shortstop, is providing coverage just behind Martone's left shoulder. The pitch now softly grounded on the right side, and that'll be a third out. So the Canes put an additional run on the board from a single from Martone as Denson scores on behalf of Martinez, but not after being left on base himself. The Canes now leading 4-1 after 2.5 innings here at Methodist University in Game 1 of the end of summer championships. You're listening to Canes Central Scout Baseball, live from behind the backstops, audio only version for today. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Canes Central Scout Baseball, audio version on YouTube, as the Canes face off against the Game Time Prospects 17U Black team out of Greensboro, I believe, North Carolina, northwest of the North Carolina Capital District of Raleigh. Home plate umpire making his way back to the home plate area. I guess he's probably getting overheated himself if this is game 2 for him. Warm and humid here at Methodist University outside Fayetteville, North Carolina. The first pitch from Ryan Adams to McCullum misses low and away as we start the bottom of the third. Two balls now to the leadoff batter. Third pitch finds the strike zone. Third baseman McCullum in the last half, top of the third, knocks down a line drive from Martinez. Takes a third ball from Adams for a 3-1 count as the leadoff batter in the bottom of the third inning. Canes by 3. Adams deals a breaking ball that slides past the glove of Martinez. He'll run back to the backstop. As McCullum gets walked. Eleventh batter now, number 15, Miller. Adams going for that sidearm delivery, misses the strike zone across the opposite batter's box to the right-handed batter. Martinez going to go out, talk with Adams for a moment, discuss mechanics presumably. McCullum at first, Miller at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes, no outs. Second pitch to Miller, a called strike. McCullum getting walked as the leadoff batter to start off the bottom of the third. Fastball down the heart of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs, runner on first. Adams deals. Foul ball bounces off the plate, ricochets up and hits the batter. Kind of looked like it hit him in the head. So whatever Martinez suggested to Adams in the mound visit a couple of pitches ago seems to be working. Adams now putting the ball squarely in and around the strike zone. Deals. Off speed. Gets him looking, rings him up, sends him back. So Miller will go back to the dugout, and I believe this takes us back to the top of the lineup. Number 5, Nicholas. McCullum with the squeeze bunt, and they'll let the runner get to first. Adams on the third baseline. Well played bunt by Nicholas will advance McCullum and get him to first safely. Natural grass infield, ball just kind of died not quite halfway down to third base. Breaking ball now to the next batter. Shields looks at a called strike with 1 out and runners on first and second in the bottom of the third. Adams tries the same pitch, misses low and away. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. Canes with a 3-run lead in the bottom of the third. Adams comes set, looks back at second, and the batter, Shields, calls for time and steps away. Shields steps back in. Adams now with the quick delivery, fastball inside, gets Shields to dance out of the box. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, 2 on. Adams offering, fouled off, out of play on the right side. Some train tracks behind us, for which a foul ball on the first base side tend to make their way. The 2-2 now with 1 out and 2 on. Adams deals. Breaking ball softly on the left side. Steiner charging across to Oakley, and the field umpire calls Shields safe on a slow roller to the shortstop. Third batter in the lineup of 11 is Widener. He is 0 for 1. Quick field conference between the home plate umpire and the field umpire yields a agreement that the runner beat out the throw. Steiner had a great charging effort on a slow roller on the grass infield, while Oakley at first made a terrific stretch, but apparently not in time. Breaking ball now fouled off on the right side, off the roof of the batting cage. Puts a strike on the board against Widener with bases loaded and 1 out. Canes looking for an infield double play. Cannon at third is approaching the grass, and Adams plunks Widener to walk in a run. Home plate umpire is going to walk out and talk with Ryan Adams. Not really sure why necessarily. Don't think there was any intention in that. Might be just trying to help give him some mental encouragement not to get too worried about it, or it may be possibly that he's talking to Adams about whether or not he's coming set long enough. I can only speculate. Now, however, Coach Boraski is out on the mound talking with Ryan Adams. Josh Martinez is out there as well, infield, kind of just enjoying the heat and humidity while Coach Boraski makes his way now casually back to the dugout. Trying to run down the clock, maybe. With a 2-run lead here in the bottom of the third, Stewart is at the plate for the Game Time Prospects. Stewart is 0 for 1 on the day. Boy, the flies, interestingly, are just prevalent here. Even though we have a little bit of a wind, probably about 5 to 10 miles an hour, blowing around casually. Breaking ball to Stewart. Misses outside. 1 out, bases loaded. Adams deals. Fastball a little bit up, but gets the called strike. Breaking ball inside to Stewart, misses. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out, bases loaded. Canes leading by 2 after 2.5 innings. Adams now. Straight down the middle for a called strike, gets Stewart looking. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, bases loaded. The Canes' next opponents are the Raleigh Blackhawks. They're starting to file into the stadium. 3 balls, 2 strikes now on Stewart. full count pitch, just above the turf of the opposite batter's box. Martinez backhands it to keep it in front of him, and that'll walk in a third run. So a little bit of infield management right now. Brian Oakley is being called into the dugout, presumably to go out to the bullpen. Bryce Cannon is going to make his way to first. Howell will go to third. And I believe Denson is taking Howell's place at second. So around the infield, Howell and Steiner on the left side, Denson and Cannon on the right. Staten, the 5th of 11 starting pitcher for GTP. Left-handed batter is at the plate. He's 1 for 1. Adams' first pitch to Staten, a called strike with bases loaded and 1 out. Adams at 69 pitches after 2 1/3 attempted bunt from Staten. Fouls off out of play over the helmet of Martinez, the catcher. So an 0-2 count with 1 out and bases loaded. GTP trying to play some small ball to tie up the score here with a 1-run lead or deficit, depending on how you want to look at it. The left-handed batter takes the next pitch outside, low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Staten goes down. Two outs now. Ravel, the right fielder, number 20, steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1, 6th in the lineup of 11 with 2 outs and bases loaded. Ryan Adams with a fastball up and in. Gets Ravel leaning back, doing a little bit of a matrix move. Happened to bend out of the way. Adams goes the opposite side of the strike zone, misses 2-0 with 2 outs and bases loaded. Kind of a repeat of that first pitch. Gets Ravel to go down to a knee and bend awkwardly out of the way. Chin music, I think, is an appropriate description of that third pitch. Now 3-0 with 2 outs and bases loaded to the right fielder. And Adams, just unable to find the strike zone at the moment, walks in another run, which will tie the score up at 4. So while the Canes have been productive on offense, all of a sudden here on defense, they're suffering from some self-infliction. Whitley, the 7th batter, is now stepping up here momentarily, but it looks like Coach Zach Borowski is going to go to the bullpen and bring in Brian Oakley to relieve Ryan Adams now with a tie score and 2 outs, bases loaded. Brian Oakley is 6'5", rising senior from Fuquay-Varina High School. His bat has been quite productive as of late, with the number of doubles, home run, And now he's going to bring in his fastball to the defense. Taking a look at the defense for the Canes. Out across the outfield, Riddick Kent in the left, number 35, followed by Ryan Hartley in center field and Ryan Schmitz. So 3 R's across the outfield. Riddick Kent, Ryan Hartley, and Ryan Schmitz. Around the horn of the infield, Howell at third, Steiner at short, Denson at second, and Cannon now at first, with Martinez remaining behind the plate as the catcher. First relieving pitcher for this opening competition against Game Time prospects, Brian Oakley, warming up on the mound. He didn't have too much warm-up in the bullpen, so he'll be given the full complement of warm-up pitches. I don't know if it's 6 or more, but seems to be ready as he calls Martinez out to the shallow infield between home plate and the mound for a quick discussion. Oakley practicing for the big leagues, covering his mouth with his glove as he talks to Martinez to make sure that no cameras in the stadium can pick up their conversation if anybody is a lip reader. For those familiar with Brian Oakley, his standard affair when he's on the mound, a black arm sleeve on his right pitching arm and hiking up his jersey sleeve on his left side to expose his upper arm. Has a bit of an orange colored glove on. First pitch now to the left-handed Whitley. Fouled off out of play. Whitley a little bit late. Puts the ball over the third base dugout. Fastball is second pitch. Must have been a little bit up, though it was over the center of the plate. So a 1-1 count now with 2 outs and bases loaded. Runner steals home, draws Oakley's attention, a breaking ball that strikes the catcher Martinez on the foot. Clearly, the GTP are going to use every trick in the book. Whitley now steps out of the box, calls for time. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, runner second and third. Left-handed batter at the plate. Brian Oakley deals a fastball that misses a little bit up and away. The 3-1 to Whitley, breaking ball, gets a called strike, bounces off the glove of Martinez, but stays out in front of the batter's box. Whitley chokes up with a full count and 2 outs and a runner in scoring position on third. Off-speed breaking ball. Okay, well that was the 3-2 then. I had it at 3-2, but apparently I was wrong. Full count. Whitley still choked up. Grounds hard to Steiner, glove side over to Cannon. And that'll end the bottom of the third as the GTP 17U Black take a 1-run lead after 3 innings. You're listening to Canes Central Scout Baseball live from behind the backstop's audio broadcast only version for today. We'll be back momentarily. Welcome back to Canes Central Scout Baseball, audio broadcast version on YouTube, live from behind the backstop. Whitley for GTP Black still on the mound. After one inning, 10 pitches. As he about to start the top of the fourth, leading off for the Canes was first baseman, now third baseman Bryce Cannon, followed by Ryan Schmitz and Grayson Leone. So the 8, 9, 10 in the lineup of 10 will return to the top of the order, presuming the Canes are able to continue being productive against GTP on offense. Cannon with a stand-up triple in his last at-bat takes a first pitch called strike from Whitley, a little bit inside. The 1-0-1 rather, breaking ball now. Second called strike. Flying bugs down here at Methodist University, just having a field day with me here in the stands. Fastball gets Cannon swinging. Left-handed Ryan Schmitz now stepping in, 0 for 1. Leone on deck. Whitley deals a fastball that misses low and inside. Next pitch fouled off down the third base line into the dugout screen of the GTP Black. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the fourth inning at Methodist University in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Whitley on the mound deals a fastball that misses low and away. A little bit of a breeze kicking up, feels good in the heat and humidity of midsummer. Swing and a miss by Schmitz. Will even up the count 2-2 with 1 out and nobody on. Pop up on the infield. Shortstop calling for it as he drifts towards second base. So a pop fly batter out to Miller will be 2 outs on the board as Grayson Leone steps to the plate. Leone with a single in his first at bat. He is 1 for 1, 10th out of 10 in the lineup for the Canes. Steiner on deck now as he looks on at Grayson Leone. Whitley's opening pitch to Leone, a fastball that goes behind the back of the right-handed batter and finds the backstop padding for a 1-0 count. Leone calls for time, steps out of the box. Whitley stays planted on the pitcher's rubber. Breaking ball over the top of the strike zone. 2 balls, no strikes to Leone. Nobody on, 2 outs. Canes with a 1-run deficit now, looking to come back to the leading position. Soft fly ball, shallow center field. Oncoming is Nicholas, who makes the 3rd out. So the Canes go 1, 2, 3 in order. As we enter the middle of the 4th, here in an audio broadcast of Canes Central Scout Baseball, live from behind the backstop on YouTube. Welcome back to the audio version of coverage for the Canes Central Scout 17U baseball team here at Methodist University in the first game of 3 in pool play for the end of summer championships, with Brian Oakley on the mound as a relieving pitcher. First pitch to Hale misses. Hale is 0 for 1. Fly ball into right field on the second pitch. Schmidt's oncoming makes the play. Two pitches, 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Madre at the 9th out of 11, number 25. Middle infielder takes a first pitch called strike. Foul ball down the left side of the infield toward the on-deck batter. One ball, 2 strikes. Madre fouls off the next pitch over the top of the Canes dugout on the first base side of the infield. Liner right to a leaping Luke Howell at third base. Terrific athletic play by the third baseman. Howell just jumped out of his shoes as high as he could, comes down with it for a second out. Sorry we didn't have that on video for you, Ryan. That was a good highlight. or for the Howell family, fouled off now by McCullum. Breaking ball gets McCullum reaching, but he holds back, says the field umpire down behind first base. Two balls, one strike. Oakley with the big breaking ball, trying to get McCullum swinging, but unable to. Is going to go to a 3-1 count now with 2 outs and nobody on. Yep. Well, not really sure what the count is. Oakley deals. And that walks McCullum. Miller, now the batter, steps to the plate 0 for 1. Two outs and a runner on first for the right-handed batter, Miller. Oakley just misses outside, says the home plate umpire. McCullum on first with 2 outs. Miller at the plate. Swing and a miss on an off-speed. 1-1 count now to the 11th batter before we go to the top of the lineup for GTP. Ryan Oakley finds the lower outside corner for a called strike. Gets himself ahead in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Martinez holds his glove in place after that last pitch. Give the home plate umpire a moment to think about it, but he still calls it a ball. 2-2 with 2 outs and a runner on first. Oakley deals a fastball, rings him up. And that's going to take the Canes into the dugout for another round of offense, hopefully a bit more productive, as the top of the lineup will be stepping to the plate this half inning. Steiner, Howell, Martinez due up here momentarily. You're listening to Canes Central Scout Baseball, live from behind the backstop on YouTube as a broadcast, audio-only broadcast. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the audio broadcast of Canes Central Scout Baseball, here live from behind the backstop on YouTube, as the 17U Central Scout take on the 17U Game Time Prospects Black out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Top of the 5th inning, if you're just joining us, the Canes, having had the lead for the first few innings, now in a 1-run deficit with Jen Steiner at the plate to start off the top of the 5th. First pitch, I guess, was a ball, but the home plate umpire psyched me out as he turned. Thought he was going to call it a strike. 2 balls now to Steiner as the leadoff batter in the top of the 5th inning. Canes have been pretty productive at the plate offensively. Triples from Martinez and CANES. Called strike now in the 3rd pitch to Steiner. Canes with 6 hits and 4 runs. Game time prospects, however, with 5 hits and 5 runs. No errors that I've recorded as of yet. Foul ball from the 4th pitch to Steiner. Evens up the count 2-2 on the leadoff batter. Slaps at a high fastball. It's going to pop up behind second base. Shortstop Miller calls off the second baseman. So 1 out. First pitch to Howell, a called strike. Luke Howell now at the plate. Howell goes down. 2 outs now. Whitley giving the Canes a hard time. Martinez steps to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. First pitch to Martinez. Gets past the catcher. The 1-0 pitch to Martinez. Fastball from Whitley. Sits up high. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the 5th inning. Canes with a 1-run deficit after having led by 2 or 3 at one point in the early innings. Whitley now misses, as does the catcher Madre, as the ball gets by him for a 3-0 count now on Martinez. Madre's going to make his way out to talk with Whitley. Infield for the GTP seems to have had a change at first. Can't quite see who that is. Russin now steps in at first for Stewart. Whitley deals. Martinez chops it to third. Across the diamond will be 3. So a 1-2-3 inning again here for the Canes. And the game is called. The Canes drop game 1 after having led by a few runs in the early innings. Some self-inflicted wounds and then some crafty base running and small ball by the GTP 17U Black. It's going to have the Canes finishing up in an 0-1 for the pool play, as they will return to the dugout with a brief intermission before game 2 will start. We'll see if we're able to do something for you here audio-wise as well. Live from behind the backstop, you've been listening to Canes Central Scout Baseball. Audio broadcast only on YouTube. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back, if all goes well,